She's rising up, heart full of grace. With every step, she's paving the way. Through every storm, she finds a light. With faith in her soul, she's ready to fight. From the pain, she finds a power, turning trials into golden hours. Challenges don't stand a chance. She's on a mission, taking a stand. Empower her to succeed. Fuel her fire, plant the seed. Let her overcome, let her lead. She's the potential the world needs. With love, with faith, with every breath she takes. A transformative story is what we make. And this is her life, this is her creed. Empower her to succeed. She's a doer too, breaking ceilings, breaking through. With every voice that lifts her name, together we rise, we shift again. She's more than enough, she's made to rise above. When the world says no, she answers with love. Every breath she takes, a transformative story is what we make. Well, this is her life, this is her creed. Empower her to succeed. With Kereisia and shame, yeah, hear her rise. This is where challenges meet purpose and dreams touch the skies. Empower her to succeed. Empower her to succeed. Fuel the fire, plant the seed. Let her overcome, let her lead. She's the potential the world needs. With love, with faith, with every breath she takes, a transform. To succeed.
Hello, good night, everyone in the audience tuning in from YouTube and Facebook. Welcome again to the Empower Her to Succeed talk show. Tonight, I am your host, Dr. Kereisia Brown-Lyesam, and with me, as our guest host tonight, is Charmaine Lindsay Baugh. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight to share the space with her. I know you are used to Mrs. Shania Johnson, but she had other engagements tonight, and so she bid us well wishes, and she will tune in later. It's always a pleasure for us to be on this talk show because we know that it has been very impactful and it is indeed transforming lives. So welcome again to the Empower Her to Succeed talk show. Tonight we have with us a impactful guest who will be coming on to share her experience and knowledge with regards to the topic that we have for tonight. Tonight, we will be talking about um, nature's pharmacy, using home ingredients for health and wellness. Can you imagine that in our kitchen, in our pantries at home, we have products that we can use to help us to feel better? Well, tonight, stay tuned with us. Invite your friends, invite your families, and let us share. And if you have questions or any comments, please feel free to share with us because indeed we're here to serve you. How are you, Mrs. Lindsay Baugh? You're looking splendid.
Thank
Always smiling like myself. Thank you for joining. How are you?
you so much, Dr. Kereisia Lysam. I'm very thankful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I am well. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. And I know that your background is in foods. And
Yes.
I'm sure that there is healing in the kitchen, don't it?
Oh, yes, there is. Yes,
Okay.
especially with the herbs and, spices. Yes.
Yes. So just to share a little bit about our co-host, her name is Charmaine Lindsay Baugh. She is a professional and development trainer. So for all those business places, you can reach out to Mrs. Lindsay Baugh, and she will be able to help you with your training. She's also a baking and decorating specialist. So all of you out there who you're getting married soon and you need your cakes to be baked, I can tell you because I am I can testify because I just want to share with the world. She was the one who baked my wedding cake. And I'm telling you that it was, even until now, I can still taste the taste, Mrs. Well, yes. Even until now, she is a specialist at that. And of course, she's also a motivational speaker that always motivate women, that you can overcome your challenges and be successful. It doesn't matter what you're going through. We want to thank Mrs. Barr tonight for being with us. And I am your host tonight, Kereisia. You're all used to me. We see where persons are joining. Just put in the chat where you are listening in tonight because we have a lot to talk about. All right. And when we are finished tonight, you all are going to be looking in your kitchen, because a practical demonstration tonight to see how we can use home ingredients to make us feel a bit better. All right. So how have you been, Mrs. Ball?
In terms of my wealth and all of
Yes.
that, yes. Well, for now, I am good. Praise the Lord. I had the common cold the other day. I had to use home remedies as well. But praise the Lord, I'm here again. So feeling much better. Sometimes, you feel tired in the body. And all
Yeah.
that I'm trying to hear what Miss Nicole has to say in terms of, for fatigue sometimes, what we need to build our bodies with. Because as a trainer, sometimes you have to be up and down.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I really want to know some of those things that I can use, even though I am familiar with the kitchen myself. I'm not as familiar with the herbs and spices that are used for the remedies for wellness. Yes.
Okay. Well, tonight we want to introduce our guest, Nicole Dawkins-Buchanan. She is a health and wellness consultant. She is also an alternative treatment researcher and product developer. She is an educator, a physical trainer for some of you who wants to get fit, especially when you're going to get married. They always say you want to lose a couple pounds. Well, here we have a fitness trainer on, and she is a trained person in these areas. All right, so we're not bringing anybody to you who has not been trained, and she has been helping organizations and conducting training and helping with health and wellness. I know of a truth and a fact that she is someone that is excellent and an expertise at what she does in terms of product development. And so I'm not going to share anything else more with you. I'm just going to bring Miss Nicole Dawkins Buchanan on. Hi, Mrs. Dawkins. How are you doing? Can you hear us? We're not hearing you. I guess you are still muted. We're not hearing you.
Mute.
Okay, hi.
Amen. Yes. Yes, I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
We are doing well.
Fine so
You look
far.
healthy. You all look healthy and wealthy.
We're
Well, I
getting
guess we're
out.
yes, I guess we're using some of our home ingredients,
Right,
to
right.
make us feel a little bit better. And you know that I had the flu, and I want you to share. Um, Last night you were sharing with me, some remedy that I
Flow
can
is
use.
on flow is no problem. Flow
Well,
is no problem.
we're
Wow.
gonna talk about that tonight. So how are you? Can you just go ahead and share with the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, as you introduced me, Nicole Buchanan, married with two kids. I teach at Old Harbor High School and I also lecture at Portmore Community College, Old Harbor Base. And I conduct lessons on health and wellness. We do massage therapy, spa therapy, alternative medicine, and we also train the students in nutrition, especially that area, in helping people to be able to eat better, especially the elderly, which a lot of people don't pay attention to in terms of giving them portions that they can manage. But sometimes we don't we overlook portion size, especially when it comes to herbs and fruits. We overlook the portion size, and we also overlook it when we are eating those exorbitant foods, especially the foods that we love. We tend to over exaggerate our plate. And as you get older, it's not more you put on the plate, it's less of some things and more of some things.
We want to see your face a little bit more. Yes, excellent. You're gone right
Yes, you
there.
can see.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
So that the audience can know who they are talking with more. All right. So, um, can you just share with us a little bit about the industry, the health and
All
wellness
right.
industry, because it seemed to be a
It's
booming
a
industry.
booming industry, and one of the reasons for this boom is that the interest and the knowledge base of people are being widened because there's so much on the internet about eating healthy and paying more attention to food. And what the consumer has recognized is that the food that they've been eating has not been giving them the minerals and the vitamins that is required. A large part of the population is more obese than ever at this stage. There are more children that are obese than ever before. There are more adults that are obese than ever before. And this is because of the intake of large amount of mineral deficient foods and vitamin deficient foods. And sometimes we think that we are healthy when we are even a slim person who is 90 pounds and maybe think that because they are slim, there's no guarantee that that person is healthy because there has to be a balance. I see people who are very slim dying of cancer, and you would say to yourself, why? I thought she looked good. See, looking good doesn't equal to eating nutritious foods. And all of these things are stemming from birth when we don't pay attention, especially as women, to our health. And our health directly affects the child that we are bringing into the world. Why? Our mineral content in our body at the time of gestation will determine how healthy or how sick the child becomes, along with some spiritual aspects of it too. Because all of this, while we are consuming and taking things, The more natural we go is the more spiritual we go. So we can't forget God in this. And a lot of it, the genetics and the spirituality, comes along with the eating of the spiritual food. For the nature foods are the spiritual foods. So we have to really pay attention to the population that is unhealthy is as a result of a craving stemming from genetics, from the mother and the father. I want you to think about it. A deficient mother and a deficient father in many of the mineral content cannot pass on a powerful enough genetic grouping to equate to a normal child. Other than prayer and fasting, there are still things that we have to do right by our bodies nutritionally, because a lot of people do not take care of their body. They say they will pray to God, but God also give us his nature to look at.
Yes.
You know, when we I did a research while I was introduced to the teaching of alternative medicines. And one of the things that I researched on was the law of signatures. And this law of signatures is practiced more so by the rabbis and those of Islamic descent. And one of the things that they believe is that God has written his signature on everything. And how we eat these foods, or we see them, is how they should connect to our bodies. For example, when you look at a peas, yeah, the red peas, you know that peas that they call kidney peas?
Yeah.
The reason for calling it kidney peas is because it is shaped like our kidneys. And that is one example of the law of signatures. That God has shaped the foods according to our organs in our bodies. And if we eat according to our organs like that, and that is one of the reasons why the Rastas don't eat meat, because they said no animal, our bodies are not shaped. There's no organs within our bodies that are shaped like any animals.
Mm.
And so they don't eat it.
Wow.
But our blood content is similar to that of chlorophyll. Just like it is the blood is the makeup, the chlorophyll is the lifeblood of the plant. And that is compatible to our blood. Our blood is also the life of our bodies. And we should eat according to that line. Now, the law of signatures, you have many things that you could choose from. The cross section of a plant, when you have of a fruit, when you cut it, if you can't see it on the outside, when you cut it, you can see it on the inside. There are many things that we can pick out that if we eat them by identifying them with a specific organ, we can't go wrong. And the rabbis eat as such. Other than that, they love milk and they have foods that they consider to be healing foods. These they pay very good attention to. And for spiritual reasons, they focus on lamb because lamb is connected to Christ. And
Mm.
so the rabbis would eat lamb because it's the lamb of God. So they engraft the meat not because it have any connection to our body, but they say the lamb is closely connected to us. So they eat. If you go in the Middle East, they eat a lot of lamb meat. Other than any other, you don't hear them talk about chicken, and they eat a lot of goat meat. Sheep and all of that, they rear it a lot and they eat it and they consume all of that with bitter herbs,
Mm.
which we don't practice. We don't love to mix in it as Jamaicans. We don't want no callaloo, any callaloo when we are eating our food, which is like a bitter herb that we should engraft whenever we are eating meats. And you will find that if we could pattern this, even in Jamaica, it would make a big difference because we have a lot of foods that we can identify with our organs. Many different foods that we can identify. When we open them, they are foods, when we open them, we automatically know that this is good for our eyes. When you look at the melon and the pawpaw, they have the cross section is similar to that of our blood. and these things are very nutrient packed to enrich our blood. But a lot of times we don't want the fruits and the vegetables first because we were growing up into a rich, meaty society. And
Mm.
trust me, I won't say much, but because I'm caught up into it, I love my pork, even though it's not good. But one thing I can tell people, if you're going to eat meat, you're gonna have to love herbs
Now
because the herbs,
we're gonna talk about all of that,
right?
right? And I like your energy, so
Yes.
far. And what I know about you is that when it comes down to health and wellness, you're always passionate about that,
I
and we
can
can
tell you
hear.
something.
Yes.
One of my herbal mentors came and checked me and he said, Nicole, I come to check you. And he came and brought, I didn't even have the bottle today. He brought a bottle of herbs for cleansing for me.
Wow.
And brought some bird pepper and some neem capsules. And I said, yes, you come give me a strength today. And this man is, let me tell you, remember I wanted to bring him to school. People look at him, and look down on him. But let me tell you, this man carries a knowledge base that is so powerful. And I stay close to him just to listen and to learn. And he also learned because there are things that I know, there are herbs that I would research on my own just by thinking about it. And the names just come to me and I go and research them. And a lot of people would hear about ashwagandha. That is a herb that just came, even though it was already out there. That is a herb that helps, especially with women. And I just went in the store and bought the herb, never knowing, that it was a powerful herb. But I heard the name and wanted it. And then I did the research when I get it. You had ashwagandha and rhodiola rosea. These two herbs together settles your nerves, but it's more potent for men than it. I don't. It's very overpowering for women. So you have to take it in minute quantities, and they don't carry. I don't think they really carry the capsule enough because when you take it, both the rhodiola rosea and the ashwagandha together, they're very powerful for a woman because it raises your energy level so high.
So why you
But you,
smile?
but
Why
you
you
can
smile
take.
so much?
I tried it. I tried it, and trust me, I didn't go back to take another combination of it. The ashwagandha is fine for women.
So tell
Mm.
us the name again, the two names.
Ashwagandha and rhodiola rosea. It would be good if you have husbands that the two combination is for men. But the
So we-
ashwagandha is good for women. It settles your nerves and helps to ease off stress. It acts. They call it an Ayurvedic herb because it does both. It relaxes and it also backs off tension.
Okay.
well, we're here at Empower Her to Succeed, and we want to empower women in every area of their lives. So you're gonna come back on and you're gonna talk to us about that part, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, because you're talking about strength and stress, and
Mm-hmm.
women
Yeah, I
are
think
always
it's one of the
working.
biggest things. It's one of the biggest things for women
All
because
right,
so much is left to us to be defensive. It's like
okay.
we are in survival mode. So, you know, we need some things to back off that stress off of us.
I see where Mrs. Lindsay's face is shining like a shining. Yes, and just before she asks that question that I see on her face, what led you into this industry? Just tell us a little bit. Give us just 30 seconds and just tell us.
To be honest, both myself and my mom, we have gone through a lot health-wise.
Mm.
First, when I was just after I got married, I got pregnant and did not know it, and was about to take. And I went to a couple places because I couldn't figure out what was going on in my body. I had an idea of it when I backtracked, and I won't call the name of the company, but I was taking a product that was high in soya bean content. Some of you may know that company if I tell you. soya, when you hear the word soya bean, you might can connect the dots to the company that it said some shake powders with high soya bean content. And before I was taking that shake after getting married to kind of just testing it because at the time I was just out of school, slim and trim, and I was gaining a little weight. And then I started taking that soybean powder. And little did I know that it threw off all my hormones and I started to get sick. And during that time, I was pregnant and did not know it. And when I went to a herbal doctor and she gave me some tablets. And because you say I trust, you're trusting the confidence of, somebody who you deem to be intelligent and au fait with that particular area. And first and foremost, their treatment was based on blood type. And the tablets that I got, while I was ingesting this powder, I was taking those tablets. And what happened? She misread my blood type. For one, she didn't do a blood. She just assumed that what I told her was right. So she gave me medication for a A blood type, and my blood type is B negative. And if you know anything about B negative blood type, it's rare. Now, here the thing: me and my mom have the same blood type, and my dad also had the same blood type. So that should tell you something that I shouldn't even be here because that is not possible.
I understand exactly what you're saying because it
Right?
happened to me with my son, and the doctor told me that
Yes.
that should never happen.
Yes, there's no way mom should have been negative and dad should have been negative and then the child born. And so this has created a whole heap of problems in my body. Most doctors, I was going to doctors and doctors were telling me that them think I was somebody over me because they couldn't put a lid on it. And so I began to do my own research to figure out different things, trying different things, and seeing different people. And I decided that, hey, if I'm going to be doing all of this and taking medication and trusting things that come from powders that are white, I need to start figure out things for myself that I can do to help me. And so I started on the journey to learning about herbs. And it's a fascination for me and my mother. How we speak, she loves herbs. You think I'm a craver? She collects herbs in bags and ships them off to the States a lot. And so we started collecting. Sometimes she would hear the herbs in her head and write them down. And she would tell me, Nicole, go and look up this. And when I look up that herb, it's a very powerful herb. There are two herbs that while she was asleep, she got these herbs. And when we realized they were for us, this herb actually saved my life. But I don't want to stray from that. While I was taking those medications, it got me really sick. And the combination of the powder, the shake powder, which was largely consistent of soybean, and taking a blood supplement that is supposed to be for a blood type that is wrong. You could imagine the chaos. So I was taking a blood supplement for A blood, and my blood type is B negative. I proceeded to go to a doctor because I couldn't figure out what was going on in my body. And when the doctor said the only other thing he could do for me is to do a pregnancy test. Because remember, I was sick and I did every test there was to do. And when I did the pregnancy test while I was sick, he just said me, Nicole, as of today, throw away everything that you have into the garbage bin because you're about to abort your child.
Oh my God.
And this was 4 months, about 3 months in, feeling sick from the August coming down. What total, and these are when I really do the research, these are all linked to hormone confusion and destabilization of your hormones. Because you know that your hormones can make you sick
Yeah.
if they are off balance. And one of the things that caused it, because I was feeling sick on graduation, that was when I consumed this large amount of soya bean. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about soya bean is the exact same molecules. It replicates our estrogen molecules. And you know, when something from the outside enters the body and tries to come in as the same agent, what happens? They begin to fight against each other because they are fighting for the same position. And the body itself is putting up a resistance because it knows it is the rightful owner. The estrogen molecule is fighting against this mimicking molecule. They look alike, but one is not the same. One does not do the one throws off the hormones and one tries to reset it.
Yes.
And so soybean is very dangerous for women, but a lot of women consume soybean in Lasco. A lot of people love it. Lasco la soy, and they drink it in
I
a
love
lot of
the
coffee.
I
But
love the lactose.
it's not good for your thyroid glands.
Wow, wow, wow.
And so I cut off down to a minute, if not. At that time, I stopped that supplement because I bought soya bean. You believe me, I bought soya bean, roasted soya bean, and made shake along with that soya bean powder. And when I went down to KPH one day while I was at a track meet after having birth, successfully giving birth to my son, things did not change because if you know anything about giving birth, it depletes you of all your mineral stores if you have not been putting in enough minerals and vitamins in your body. And can I tell you, I could not take the tablets, the maternal tablets and all those. My body was not taking onto it. And during the time of having my son, let me tell you, I never felt sick. I never felt sick. And remember, before the pregnancy, I was sick very bad. But when you are pregnant, your body starts to get into a whole different mode. The child now becomes the focus, and the child actually, that placenta that you develop is so nutrient that it both affects you and affects the child. My hair grew to the back of my to my back. I had breasts like those big nice breasts that you think will stay and full up your breasts, and I had hips. So everything, you know, that I said to myself, that, I think I should get pregnant,
Well,
consistently. And trust me, I didn't get sick during that time of the pregnancy. But after I had my son, and after I start breastfeeding, all of that feeling, my hair dropped off, everything. Because what I mean, when your body goes into a mode of protection, and what the body did was pulled all the minerals and vitamins from my body towards the child, and the child actually protects us because he's trying to that child awakens the bodies and alerts and starts to send a signal to every area of your body to awaken your minerals. And during that time of pregnancy, women should be taking all of the minerals, not those that they sell in the bottles. Because I can tell you that there is less than 2% of any mineral vitamin in those bottles, and more poison. There are some things in the bottles that if I tell you and you go and Google them, you will probably cry and start to wipe out all the things. There are some polynuclear words that I can't call. That when you look for those, anything with poly in your on your vitamin bottle, I don't want to tell you what it is.
Well, we can save that a little because I know that you're going to have your upcoming um, um, conference training with women this year, and
Yes.
waiting to hear more about that. Because when we talk about health and wellness, it's an industry that is booming. A lot of persons are, looking to persons like you, who is a specialist to really guide them. So, Miss Buchanan, she will be conducting some training, and you'll hear more about those training. So, if you're on, you'll be able to reach out to her, and she will advise us more. You will hear from me because I know that she's going to be doing the training. All right. And someone in the chat says, "Oh, wow." Because guess what? That information that you're giving, Miss Buchanan, is sometimes new to us. I have a child, Miss Lindsay have her children, and so on.
If
So,
you had known some of these things, let me tell you, our food is our medicine for everything. If we eat the right foods during our pregnancy, our children will become so fortified and mighty. I want to give one thing that we can use as women, and if we start taking that as a supplement,
I want
I'm
to
just
wait
gonna
until we reach the
I don't, I'll
end.
give it to them. I'll give this one to them.
All right, go ahead.
I eat Irish moss in everything that you are eating.
Oh,
In your porridge, as a sauce, in your gravies, in your cake mix, you can add it there. Very powerful. And the right one, because now you know that they are mimicking everything. So you have to make sure you check it and you buy minute amount from the vendor first before you buy a large amount from them because it's very expensive. And people will sell you a very expensive bag of garbage. I find out nowadays that they are mimicking the Irish moss, and that
wow.
can be very detrimental. But the real Irish moss, if you know anybody in like towards Portland, they deep sea dive and get those. If you know anybody that's going there every now and then or to St. Thomas, you can ask them to buy and stick to the bays. Where you have a fishing bay, you will always have somebody there that have some Irish moss. And right where I live, sometime I go down to the sea and I can see the deep sea one is better, but if you can get a few from the seashore, you can get. It's not gonna be as potent, but you can start there, or you can go to a qualified vendor and buy the Irish moss because the Irish moss, one of the reasons why I'm telling you, it has 96 minerals, compact. Studies show that some have less, but the deeper the sea, the richer the moss. And even if you get 18 minerals from it, that is enough. Irish moss, very good for your body. We women can consume it as a gel. We can use the gel on our face, grind it up, put honey in it, rub our face, and it keeps us young. But we want to ingest it first so that we can see the benefits. Because what goes in comes out on the outside.
Ouch. Ouch. Over to you, Mrs. Baugh.
You
Mrs.
have me stunned, Nicole, because I am listening so keenly. It's like a lot of things are going through my own mind because I'm
Mm,
in the area of food and nutrition, and sometimes we don't follow some of these things. We learn about them as we move along, but um, I just want to say, as a researcher in the complementary and alternative treatments, help us to understand what you're really talking about here. How do we define these treatments and how do they fit alongside the traditional medicine? Because sometimes some people are aloof when it comes to bush
mm,
medicine, then so to speak.
mhm. And
And
can
they're
okay,
saying that
sorry.
they're not taking it because it doesn't have any portions or
Mm,
proportions to it. And Even though I hear that the Cersei and the neem and so is good for me, how much do I take? So I want you to just expound on this one, please.
Okay, my philosophy is a little bit different from others because what you call traditional medicine, our herbs should be our traditional medicine, and the pills are the alternatives because they did not exist um, 1,000 years ago. Pills did not exist. The only things that existed were herbs, and it every time when we look at creation, people try to shun the biblical perspective and turn it upside down. And so we have a reversal of roles. And so we think that the herbs is the alternative and the pills are the traditional, which is not so. But what we are calling traditional medicine pills. And that is not so. Traditional medicine or the conventional medicine is the medicine that we see present in the pharmacies. And the pharmacy medicine, can I tell you that it is attached to a demons? Pharmacy comes from the word pharmakia, and pharmakia is a demonic force. So we won't go any further in that, but I'll just leave that to your imagination. So we really realize that taking these tablets and thinking that they are the better go to, while they what we call complementary and alternative. Complementary is working alongside our conventional medicine. Alternative is the better half to go to than the traditional. And we call alternative medicine herbs and spices and minerals and vitamins. But I truly believe that the herbs and the spices and the minerals are the conventional, what is supposed to be standard. We know that when our body is over time has developed garbage and all of these things, that the amount of herbs that you take cannot even equate. Sometimes even the herbalist will tell you to take a cork of something, and you realize because there's so much gunk in your body, not even the cork moves you. You might need 2 or 3 corks. So you find that the herbs is supposed to be taken to proportional to your needs, to the stress level, right? I can tell you one herb. I was feeling very exhausted and needed rest. And truly, truly, I just say because I needed so much rest, I just dipped my hand into I had a bowl of it and I dipped my hand into it and I took out a bowl of the herb, throwed it into it and made a strong tea. And that thing lit me out for 6. You want to talk about rest? I can give you one tea that can give you rest. I have you laying down. I wonder if you can get up. It totally rests your nerve. Let me tell you, I thought I could fight it through. I went to school and I was like this. And the students say, what happened to you, miss? I say, I don't know, but I know I drank some tea that I shouldn't drink too much of.
Mm-hmm.
But the herbs are in proportional to your needs and to only you alone know. When you take them, you know that for especially for herbs, you do not take them for long periods because as I said, they are more potent than the tablets. And a lot of times they will tell you that it will destroy your body, but only you alone know your body. And we have to also use our own senses to know what is enough. And you have to have a background of the nerves, the herbs that you're taking. For example, I'll give you one herb, neem, the neem leaves. For a child, you may probably need 2 or 3 leaves in a cup of warm water to give them, and that will help to clear out bacteria and cold because it's a microbacteria fighter. But also this neem herb is very good for your nerves. Now, to truly knock you out, a handful, most of the herbalists truly believe that it's not just capsules, 2 or 3 or 4 capsules sometimes can help a person based on the need, based on the level of sickness that they have. But if it's just a light cold, you can take about 5 or 6 leaves in a cup of boiling water, and that should be enough for you. If it is that you are using it for nerves purposes to rest your nerve, you may want to take about, let me put it at about 20 leaves, because it's very potent, and you can take that until you feel settled in your body, that you are now getting rest, because it's according to your needs that you will take something if you are not in need of it. But most time they proportional herbs and bushes, and we know we were grown up on bush, and we know the limit to how much we should go. If you are using, say, thyme, thyme is a very powerful herb, depending on how you use it. It's a herb that moves through your entire body. It's like a hormone stimulant. It touches your endocrine system. It pulls, and it pushes out, because thyme herb can be used to clear out phlegm from your chest. For somebody who have cold or asthmatic condition, thyme can be used.
Okay.
And this is a seasoning that you don't have to limit on. You can use as much of it as you want, as strong as you can, depending on the level of the cold. If it's just a light cold, you can use a sprig. But if it's very strong and you want to make a concoction with honey, something that you want to keep, that you can take a spoon, you can actually soak it and put it in the fridge and drink it fresh like water, to keep it flushing out. This same time, you can drink it as a tea to help you when you are in childbirth, to stimulate the pushing sensation. And you want to take like about 3 or 4 sprigs each morning leading up to you giving birth. You don't need a large amount.
Yeah.
The proportions that we want to take, as I say, is based on our needs and how sick you are. Say, for example, a cancer person taking moringa and Guinean weed, because those are two potent herbs for people with cancer to take as well. People don't tell people that, but I'll give you that, because one nutrifies and one pushes out and strengthens. The Guinean weed is also a strengthening herb, as well as it is a herb to push out mucus out of your body. It also is very powerful. But the combination of the Guinean weed and the moringa helps to stimulate eating in that person who is losing weight. A cancer patient, it opens back their appetite and allow them to eat. And that person can take uh, that moringa, they can grind that up and take a half a teaspoon of that in tea portion along with moringa powder. The moringa powder, the leaves can be taken in large proportion. The nuts, however, you don't take that as much. 2 is enough per day, and that will balance off and nutrify and give you enough nutrients, because the moringa is very potent. So for the cancer person, it helps them. The scientific nature of the herbs, God told us just that the herbs are for the healing of the nation. And all around us in our yards, some of us don't know that God has placed some things in our yard specifically for us. There are some herbs that we see in our yard and we say, why these things keep growing in? Why them not come out? And you kill them and you think it's weed. You sometimes, if you have a backyard, there's a particular herb in there that you wonder all the time why it grows a lot. There's one particular herb named Dopigon. It grows. And do we know that wherever a woman is and you see that herb, it means that you are to drink it. It carries a pod. When you do it, it pops it. That herb is a female herb. It grows some little tentacles like carrots under there. And when you draw it up and taste it, it tastes like carrot. And that same Rasta man that he was the one that introduced me to it and said that's a female because the herb, the pod, it comes with a flower, and the duppy gun pod that shoots that makes that a loud popping sound comes out of it. And he said it opens up like a female. It's a female herb. And I've gotten that herb so many times, especially when I'm having terrible cramps in my abdomen, and it works. So we have to know, we have to pay attention to ourselves, especially when we are taking herbs. Sometimes it's not what the doctor tell you, because if it's not working for you, you're gonna stick to the 2 tablets until it's done, and then you don't get any use of it. Maybe you need to go back to the doctor and say, listen, or the herbalist that you are entrusted, this is not working. Because sometimes you will get a bottle of something to clear you out, and you need more than that bottle because of so much backed up tension, backed up waste. Maybe you have been having hormonal issues that are not causing you to release some of the some of the pent up emotions. They trap also your body and constrict your body from releasing, like sweat, from releasing feces, from releasing urine in large quantities, so that your body will get healthy. Because your body works like in contraction muscles, and the muscles react to tension, and all of these I can tell you are based off mineral deficiency. There's a mineral deficiency connected to every single sickness that there is, because foods that we eat that are not supposed to be eaten, they deplete our either our mineral or our vitamin stores. It robs it. And I can give you one example of something that is robbing our mineral stores, and the whole entire Jamaica has now become a great consumer of this item. When you drink that water that you go and buy at the filter place, do you know that when you drink that water, it depletes? When it goes in, it comes out very fast and depletes your mineral stores, because it's a deionized entering an ionized body, and the ionized is the minerals. The minerals are different types of ionized power source that are inside your body. Now the little that is left, that water that is deionized, that they filter out everything and tell you that it is clean, when it enters your body, it drags your minerals towards you and flushes it out.
Wow. Miss Buchanan, it seems like you're bringing me back into a class. You know, it seems like I'm at the university.
So
Yes.
it's as much as we shun our pipe water and say it full of it nasty and it heavy, at least it still has some mineral content in it that is coming from rivers and streams.
Wow.
Our grandparents lived to 90 and drink rainwater and water down a river. And we have now gone. Our river is the reservoir of, if you go in there and see the operation of those water companies, you will recognize what you're drinking. It's highly hydrogenized. You have the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules, and they have a lot of those hydrogen chunks full up in there, more than you have oxygen. And where there's a destabilization of these, where the body is being robbed of its mineral stores, most likely your body is not able to retain its oxygen stores, because the water that has minute amount of oxygen is dragging it all away. And all of us are drinking that water thinking it's okay, but it's not.
Wow,
When we
she's
take it with our tablets, or our herbal tablets that we do take, it does not help, because whatever you just put in, it's gonna flush it out.
wow, this is so deep.
Yes, it
Wow.
is.
So Miss Nicole, Miss Buchanan, we
Mm.
want to thank you so much. Your it is so detailed. Your information is so deep. You are so knowledgeable. when it comes on to these things. And we really need to pay keen attention to things like these. Um,
Yes.
so most of us have a kitchen full of
Mm.
ingredients. We would have spoken about the alternative part, right? And
Yes,
the
yes.
complementary. So, which and we have to focus on those because we're talking
Right.
about health and wellness.
Yes.
But most of us have a kitchen full of ingredients. We use them for cooking.
Yes, we should
And
use a lot of those.
you are telling us that we actually have a pharmacy right in our
Right,
pantries.
and that's true. That's so
So
true.
share with us at least five of those ingredients in the kitchen.
All
You
right,
spoke
I'm gonna.
about the time. You spoke
Yes,
about time, yes.
time is one.
Yes, tell
One
us
very powerful one. One very powerful time. I love my time tea. Why? Because a lot of children have asthmatic, and we have a lot of children that have cold and sinuses. Thyme is very good for your sinuses. Very good. The thyme will help you to breathe better. And in everything that we do, I must tell everybody that it is the consistency that beats us with these. So if we can use them consistently in our kitchen, thyme is one. My favorite is cayenne pepper. Why? Because we are high meat consumers. Cayenne pepper is something that if you are feeling bad, I believe that everybody should have a little satchel of cayenne pepper in your bag. If bad feelings take you, you can put that on your tongue. And let me tell you, it's gonna give you a little head spin at first, but consume it. But when you consume it after, you're gonna feel a refreshing lightness and a looseness because that cayenne pepper is gonna go straight to your stomach and relieve whatever is causing the bad feelings. And usually those bad feelings is a lack of oxygen. Is a lack of oxygen that you're getting. You're feeling almost like you're going to faint, and that is because your oxygen level is low or your water, your hydration level, and it all goes back to the same oxygen. If your hydration level is low, you are gonna feel like you want to faint. Now, what the cayenne pepper does, it's a cell activator. So if there is some amount of oxygen left in your body, the cayenne pepper is gonna open up those cells that it can revive you, like it gives you like a jolt or a jump start, so that you can actually get to a place where, hey, I can get some water. Let me go and drink some water. Let me get some rehydration fluid. I used to go to a herbal doctor. One of the best hydration fluid that she gave me. These are things that are in your kitchen: salt and sweet sugar and water. Now you may say this is something terrible, but when you are feeling extremely sick and feel like you're gonna faint, if somebody can give you a combination of sugar and sweet sugar and water and with a pinch of salt, it's gonna boost your energy level and wake you up. Why? Because that is like an electrolyte booster in your body. The salt that people say is bad, a large content of our body needs salt. And the idea that is the salt that is causing the blood pressure problem is not true. It's because it's a deficiency of a combination of things that cause the elevation of your blood pressure. We have garlic, which is another good one. Garlic, when we eating a lot of rice, we need to have a lot of garlic in that rice because the garlic help to expel the rice that causes yeasty and easy. After 24 hours, you shouldn't be consuming that rice, especially if you don't put more than one peg in there. Garlic should have at least 4 to 5 pegs of garlic in your rice when you're cooking it, so that it can help to, because it eliminates. Garlic is very potent and very strong, so it helps to, just like cayenne pepper, it has some of that effect on the body as well. Helps to revive the body. It thins the blood so that there's not congestion, or you feel, when you're congested, you feel heavy and you feel like you are carrying a lot of weight. And the Garlic helps to lighten you. Good for men especially, and it's also good for women as well. So we have garlic, the cayenne pepper, the thyme, ginger. Ginger is up there for me with cayenne pepper. A ginger shot helps. It's very good for women. Very warming herb for women. Warms up your inside and helps to relax you. When you feel warmer in the inside, it's good for you, especially for women, because it helps revitalize your hormones as well. Ginger is very nutrifying for us as women, more than men. And it's something that you should always have a bottle. You buy a pound of ginger and you blend that like in 4 quarters, split it in 4 quarters and you blend it, and you take a shot of it every morning to warm up your body, to get your body fired up.
Energized.
A ginger shot is good, and you can put a pinch of cayenne pepper with it as well. It fires up your body because we need that boost of energy in the morning. Our energy, we tend to just jump into energy, and not necessarily that we have it, But as women, we tend to jump into, we want something to boost us, to help us. It's not the coffee, but those are natural herbs that are in our homes. But we just use it in the rice and peas to sweeten it up with that. But we can blend it and use it as a shot.
Yes,
Drink
yes.
it alone. Don't use it as no juice or no ginger beer. Fix it in there and take a few cock. It's good for you. The ginger also helps to thin the blood,
Yes.
cleanse it. It thins the blood and keeps it going. As I say, it's warming, especially for us. We tend to be on the move a lot, but we don't tend to exercise a lot. So the ginger keeps us through. It helps to fast track weight loss too. And I can prove that. I started taking ginger for a month and it helped me to get to lose 16 pounds.
Wow.
Along with eating at a certain time. That is for another show. I will share that with you another time.
Yes, yes.
But yes,
Wow, this is
because
powerful.
it's a particular eating habit. Mark you, I went off track because I have not been feeling 100, and I did some extraction, and it proves to me that the conventional way is not the way. Because once you ingest those, they trigger your hormones and cause you to shoot up weight gain, because most of these tablets are steroid based, and steroids especially is not good for women. We don't deal with steroid. The first thing it affects is our weight. A man may be able to fight it, but a woman, we gain weight so easily, especially when we have children, and our energy level has already been depleted. For especially women who have many children, we should feed on ginger. If you have more than 3 children, feed on a lot of ginger.
Wow.
It should be a consume. Yeah, we should feed on
Okay.
a lot of ginger. And you see that ginger and the Irish moss combination, if you take it as a juice, say if you want to take the shot of ginger into your Irish moss, you can make Irish moss like a drink and take it and put your shot in it and have it. Imagine what a combination if you are able to take that every day. But we need it as women. We need it. And it's all about empowering the woman in our kitchen. Our
Yes.
eating. We all need to have. You see, there are some we always we buy coconut and all these things a lot, but we don't use them. We don't use them as herbs, right? We have even black pepper grains. That's another one of the herbs that we buy out to sprinkle it over food. But black pepper is also a cell activator that we should take seriously, just like cayenne pepper. It's just as potent if used in the right way. That black pepper should be sprinkled, the true one, because try and get your black pepper that you crack, like
Mm.
cracker.
Peppercorns. Yes.
Because I find that those that are on the market are mixed. Just like cayenne pepper, if you don't know about a reputable place that you buy cayenne pepper, you shouldn't just buy it on the road. because cayenne pepper have different levels that you have. You have those that are 3,000 strength, 5,000 strength, 10,000 strength measurement. And when you go to the health food store, they will show you. I think they have a BIU on it, and it will tell you how much BIU it has and the strength of it. Some cayenne pepper, when you touch it and put it on your mouth, there's fire. I mean, it's very potent. And
Wow.
especially when you're going to consume a lot of meat, make sure that cayenne pepper is the number one ingredient. And some of us don't like pepper because we say too hot.
Like
But
me.
have you ever had too much pepper and what? Tell me what happens to you.
The sweat on your nose run.
What else? There's another thing that I'm looking for.
Um,
I don't like pepper so much that
Some people have diarrhea because of the
really?
pepper.
I never knew
Yes.
that. Hmm.
wow, this is new. This is new
Yes.
to me. So
And
what
they will say that it burns their bottom. And that is because the cayenne pepper was trying to destroy and burn the fat content, and that's why they feel it. It's the oil that came out through their butt with the cayenne pepper that they actually feel.
Wow.
Oh,
Because the cayenne pepper goes straight through your system.
Yeah.
Because as I say, it's a cell activator.
Mm.
Black pepper is a cell activator, something that we mustn't just try to get the cracked one and keep it. Because we need black pepper when we're using turmeric. Turmeric should never be used without black pepper.
Yeah.
And fat. Because it's a fat soluble herb. It needs fat to be activated. But most people don't do that. That's why you see on TV, sometimes we watch these YouTube channels, you always see the women say they're using coconut milk. That is because it's the best way to use it. Throw
Mm.
away the soya product when you're using your if you want a little milk in your in your brain block. When you are using when you want to have the turmeric, some people love it with milk. But don't use any soya milk, use coconut milk and it will give you the fat. And then you sprinkle your little black pepper. And if you want sweeten, you can sweeten with onion half. They have on the market now a turmeric, what you call it, latte. Anybody have seen it?
no.
Yes. A turmeric latte, just like coffee. It have a milk content, but I wouldn't consume that because I can make it at home. We can
Right.
make it and it's good for us.
These are real
Yeah.
principles though that we really need to learn.
Also, onion, very, very potent. The onion sucks every bacteria out of your own.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So if you have a child that is sick, you can cut up large amounts of onion and put it in that pillow, and it will suck away any bacteria from him and any other bacteria that is trying to attack. Because when you are sick, other bacteria will want to come and attack you as well. They don't care. It's like they are drawn to you, but the onions deflect it. That's why it's when you cut an onion, you should never reuse it. You should throw it away. If you're not gonna consume all of it, you should never need to put it in your fridge because if there's any bacteria in the fridge and you cut it and put it in there, it's gonna suck every bacteria. That's not good to consume again. So you never cut your onion and use it. Just the same, you never cut your fruits and use them because they too have a lot of pulling, especially those there's water content foods. When you cut them and put them in the fridge, they pull things to them because they are so water based. And the
Wow.
onion is the same. But the onion is very good for colds and coughs. You can actually steam with the onion. You're having a terrible cold. Instead of making the tea, just cut the onion like a whole entire large onion and consume it. It may burn you going down, but I can guarantee you that that coal is gonna meet up on that onion and it's gonna fight whatever bacteria. If you can't take the strong potency of it, you can mix it with honey and eat it. And you can store it. Most of these herbs that you have, If you are going to use them for, especially for illness, just store them in glass containers. Plastics are not to be used. That's a no-no because plastics are chemical based and chemical reacts with chemical. The herbs are powerful chemicals, and they are also reactants. So they react to anything chemical based. Garlic, for one, shouldn't be stored in plastic because is strong enough that it will also stay in the container and start to suck the container. So after a while, you will see this container shrinking. It's because of the potency that is inside that is reacting to the bottle. So it's best to use your glass containers. To drink as well, get rid of your plastic container, throw them out of your house if you can. Stop drinking your water out of plastic. Drink your water out of glass. Even if you know the children go and broke them up one by one, you just keep buying back. That's okay. It's much more healthier.
I think our foreparents know some of these things. That's the reason why they practice it, you know.
Yeah.
This is really
Let me let
deep.
me give you an example of how destructive plastic is. If you look at the Arabs, if you look on their feet, not one of them wears a rubber or a plastic shoe. When you go to Israel, because I do a lot of research on those countries, I love to look at them because they have some of the most powerful spices. Things that we throw away, they use. You see, lime, they store lime in the ground for a year. They squeeze and put a bottle of lime in the ground for a year. And you cannot ingest not even an ounce of that when it comes out of the earth. And they say that is good for any sickness. But we don't really practice it here. The lime when it turns brown, it's a it's actually a spice that they use to cook with. Now when our lime turn brown, what we do with it? Dash it out the door.
Wow, this is
And they also have the
powerful.
lime when it turn black and they use it as a spice because they preserve it in a natural form in a room and they use it as a spice. Some of these things you learn by just reading because I love especially going back. Most of the countries that are of our mother nature, like Israel, we may not consider them because we don't see them of our skin, but a lot of them have the tendencies. They have real practices that are very, very powerful. They use vinegar a lot, they use honey a lot, they use milk, which we don't some of us don't really like the milk. But they drink milk. They say they drink milk more than we drink water, the Arabs. And that's because our milk and their milk is two different milk because they consume high amounts of camel milk, which they say is very healthy and fat. And they don't get a lot of the chemical reactions that we have from cows, which we shouldn't really ingest at all. But it's all when you are a woman and you have different ailments, it causes you to read a lot because you want to try many different things. They are a combination of the salt and the milk, the vinegar and the honey. These are also healing. These are also healing tools in your kitchen too. A combination of the vinegar and the honey can really also help with stomach indigestion and it's also expel cold. It push away mucus that the Israelis use it. The Arabs, those people, the Islamic people, those are their key. They use garlic like us. They love garlic. They love honey and vinegar and milk, and they use these in combination. Some of them they didn't. When I do the research, they don't release some of the combination to you. They will give you hints, but they say they use all of these to heal themselves. And we have them in our pantry that we buy every day. We buy vinegar. I can tell you something that vinegar can do. When your child have fever, you dip that rag in the vinegar and you spin it in the ear, and that rag gets cold like ice, and you can put it on the chest of your child.
This
And I
is
learned that
definitely
by reading. I actually had this doctor. I researched him online and called him while my son was sick. And that was one of the things he said, if I had vinegar, if the child is hot, and that thing sucks the fever so fast, soak in the wrong in vinegar and spin it in the ear, and then you drop it on the child forehead or on the chest, and it sucks away the heat. And
Wow.
these are things that we have them in our pantry, can use them.
That's true.
This is so powerful, Mrs. Dawkins. And let me just share with you what's happening in the chat. We see where Jordan Worlds Forever is saying, this is very informative. And
Mm.
Miss Verena Waller is saying, wow. And we have other persons, it's like it's a wow factor for them.
Yes.
Yes.
Not many persons, knew that. They, especially the vinegar. I use my vinegar for like for fungus if I have it on my toe, and I realize that
Yeah,
it's
and
very
it's good. Yeah, it's very good for that. Very good. And sometimes they will tell you the vinegar. It has a lot. It has some weaknesses because a large consumption of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, can soften your bones. It makes your bones so you can consume a lot. People won't tell you that. They will tell you that you have a lot of healing, but yeah, everything you have to use in moderation and proportion. As I say, you use it according to needs, but you don't want to consume it because anything, the law of physics says there is also an equal and an opposite reaction, and that applies to everything.
Yes.
So you have to think about it. There is anything, you have an equal and an opposite reaction. So you must be mindful that anything that you're going to use, the Bible speaks about overuse of anything. So we shouldn't overuse anything. It should be used in moderation and to your needs. And anything that we are going to take, if a lot of people live on vinegar, apple cider vinegar, because they heard that it is good for weight loss. No, a lot of combination of things help with weight loss. Sometimes you just have to turn down your plate to lose weight.
Thank you. It's true.
like me.
And when you see it,
True.
like I tell you, 7 days fasting, if you do 7 days fasting and don't consume anything until after 6, and you light food, because after 6, you shouldn't be eating anything much more than a little soup. Let me tell you, the feeling you get after 7 days is like I could live again.
Yes, that's true.
Mm.
I've
Yes, it's
encountered
like I
that.
can
Yes.
breathe. After 7 days, let me tell you, a theory studies show that after 21 days, if you can last 21 days fasting, your body becomes adaptable to that reality. But it's because we say, the pastor say, we're going on 21 days fast. After it done, everybody go eat and lick their appetite back into submission to chicken
Mm.
and rice.
Wow.
And your body was agreeing and started to
Mm.
agree with you. And you started to feel like if you ever go to a 21-day fast and then afterwards you start eating back, you gain twice as much weight than you had before. Because after 21 days, your body develops apt habits. You can train yourself. After 30 days, it becomes a stay. And after 21 days, your body starts to get used to an idea. So we
That's
can actually train our body. If we are able to be consistent 21 days, a lot of things will happen in your body. And that is a proven fact. I prove it.
and that is true. That is a known thing. They might not talk in terms of food directly, but I've heard where they say they can change a habit if you are consistent within 21 days.
21 days, yes. But it's the same thing with your body. Your body works off a clock. And if you are able to, your mind is fueling this habit. And if you command the body to do something consistently for 21 days, it also reacts to that habit. And the body starts to inhabit that idea and says, oh, this is a new idea and it feels good. And if the body starts reacting a positive way, it means that something that should be happening consistently. Because the lighter you are, in your body, is the lighter the essence of your being is. And your mind gets a little more clearer. You're able to be a lot more calmer and at peace. So food is not necessary to be consumed. There are some days when your body is telling you no, Just go to your bed and don't eat. You come home and you feel tired, and
It's true.
you are saying, "Whoa, I don't even have a drive to eat." And the minute you go stuff something in your body, especially a snack like a bread kind of food, your body reacts in a most aggressive way because what you did, you just start to block it. And all of that peace that you came home with thinking it's tiredness, sometimes the body just need a clear out. A day of fasting and don't eating will refresh you. Every week, most of us should do that. It refreshes us, especially for us women who pick up on everything, and everything, can be so attracted to us. If the socks is out of place, we are attracted to move it. If the bucket kick over and it's not supposed to be in place, we are attracted to turn it up. We are so engaged, or our tentacles to correct things, is so alert that sometimes if we turn down our plate, we'll also turn down those things. Because if you don't eat for there are some things that you don't see.
True. That's so true.
Yes, if you don't eat for there's some things that you just don't see. You will come home and say, "Oh, I don't need no food," and if you go straight to your bed, you'll wake up feeling a different person.
Type of
And if we try
discipline.
that more often, right, it's a disciplined life, which most of us don't love. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to keep healthy, trust me. Especially when you have things already working against us. Because I can tell most of us as women, especially in Jamaica, we are coming from our mothers. Some of our mothers did not even get time to react to their own bodies before they were pregnant again. And what this causes is a whole lot of confusion. That's why I said, as a woman, you have to deal with you, and your nutrition is very important. How you eat, sometimes you'll have a husband who loves food, but sometimes if he loves food, you can feed him, but you also have a responsibility to feed him. If you know the right thing, you have a responsibility to keep the home healthy. But number one is you empower yourself to be healthy, because so much depends on you. The Lord puts us in that position because the man is the head, but we are his crown.
Mm,
The man is the head, but we are his crown. So we have to make sure that the crown upon his head looks good.
yeah.
So it's important that we take care of ourselves as number one. Sometimes you just have to say, even if you don't have a husband and you have your 3 children or your 2 children with you, we are not going to eat today. That's okay. We're going to drink some tea and have some crackers, and we're going to chill out, and then we're going to go to bed and get some rest early. I trained my children when they were young to go to bed at 8, and it did them a world of good. That's one of the first patterns of discipline you teach your children. And trust me, after the 21 days, my son, who used to run up and down and fight me, he climbed into his crib at clockwork because of that training
Yes.
and helping them to break in. Because that training helps them with the habits. It also breaks in the eating habits because it cut them off from wanting more food after 8 and 7, and you
True.
being able to prepare. Oh, mommy, I want milk and I want biscuit.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Once they go to bed, they know that's it.
You're not getting any more. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
And it's the same for us. Sometimes we need to go to bed at 8.
That's true.
And that is
Especially as
coming.
women, it settles our hormones to get rest. It's okay to
Early.
get rest. It's okay to get rest. It's okay to leave the basket full of clothes and cut your eye.
And go to
It's
sleep.
okay.
Yes.
It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to not stay up till 12 o'clock and wipe down and clean down the whole entire house. And everybody's asleep. And at 12 o'clock, you're still there wondering, why am I up? and you wipe down the whole place and the fridge and everywhere. And tomorrow morning you get up with all your energy that
Tired.
you were supposed to get during that time of rest. You are tired
Mm.
going to work,
I think
and
you're
that does
talking.
not help.
I think you're talking about me too. You know, it's okay, Kereisia. It is okay to go
It
to bed at
is.
8.
Okay to go to
Yes.
bed. Yes.
Drink a cup
But
of ashwagandha tea and go
What
to
is
your
the
bed.
name? What is the name?
Ashwagandha. Or you drink some neem tea. And you can fight till thy kingdom. If you drink enough, you fight and want to do the work, you just spicy your hands them start get dreary. The neem tea is very potent to put you to sleep.
and the chamomile is good as well too.
But let me tell you, neem is more powerful than that.
Okay.
Neem is more powerful. Chamomile you may take a handful and you can still. You may have to take chamomile with St. John's wort to get
Okay.
that. But neem lick you for six.
And I have a neem tree outside
All
and I
all
cut
why
it down the other day.
all eh?
I
I
have a
don't hear
neem
you.
tree. I have a neem tree outside that was overcrowding the area, and they sent that truck to come and cut it down.
Whoa. You know that neem.
Everything gone. No, but I have another little young one. It springs up so quickly.
Yes, man, because it's a lively plant just like moringa, you know. You
Yes.
see the seeds? The seeds are very potent.
Yes.
Because I'm on the hunt for some seeds now. And I've been watching some trees because the fruits are edible, you know. The fruits are edible, you can eat them. It's sweet on the outside, but on the seeds inside, they are also potent too. But I'll tell you that another time.
Okay.
I'll leave I'll
Well,
leave
me,
that part.
Miss Charmaine, it seems like you need to start telling some names.
Listen to me because I'm going into the next question to ask her now. Um, or if she has developed any products because I like that area, the product development area, and I really want to find it
Well,
because
I
you've
have
been
not
talking so
developed
much.
any. I have some products in mind for myself that I am doing
Yes.
research on now.
Okay.
And my students, I help them develop some products. One of them, I encouraged her, and she actually has a product for the male. And trust me,
Mm,
she did a very good job. And I know that product can sell online.
yes.
And I've encouraged her to go ahead and to pattern it.
Yes.
Because I know in this Jamaican society, that box would lick off the shelf.
Woo! Is
So
that
you
That
a
don't want
box
to
would
bad?
tell
live
us,
off
you don't want to tell us what that
because
is.
of it's a tea bag, and she did a very good job of presentation. It had a Jamaican flag and everything on it. I didn't remember the carton, but and I will post it. I'll send it that Miss Lysom Keisha you can post it to let people see it.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
an idea of it. I'll give you an idea of the box because I don't want to release our product and she has not
No.
Right,
yet
right.
Yes.
patented it. But
Yes.
trust me, what she did a very good job of
Mm,
creating the woods that she chose, the names, it would jump off the Jamaican shelves. And I tell her to go ahead and to pattern the box because I don't see any on the market.
and she's so fortunate to have a mentor like you because not many persons have those persons behind them. It's a natural gift, you know?
And
Yes.
trust me, she love it. She love it. She love it. She's serious about it. Because she had a dad who loved the herbs, but you don't have. Sometimes we have the knowledge and we don't put it forth.
Yes.
We have students who made oils like pineapple oil. Let me tell you that oil. She gave me a cup of it, and I
Yeah,
tell you a
experience
little
that
bottle. I
oil.
still have it. The pineapple
Wow.
oil. We did a massage at Portmore Community College, and it's just the smell that caught a man, and he bought the biggest bottle from her right
Ooh,
away. And I
sweet.
tell her, go ahead and make it because people are looking for things that are natural.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not necessarily the potency, but because it's so natural and it smell good, there are
Authentic.
people
Yes.
just love smells.
Mhm.
And if you say natural, and trust me, I have that bottle now and it's still strong and potent. I just barely
Mm.
tip a little because I say I want it to last long. Because she gave me that as a pattern, so I say I will keep it, I won't use all of it.
Yes. Yes.
She also made a face cream, because we walked through the ingredients. And the face cream was the same potency. Nice. I think she have a knack for making skin products.
Yes. Yes. Some
And
people
she
are
made a
good.
cream. I have the cream in my fridge now that she made. And she put a nice presentation, a nice bottle, packaged it. Most of the students made different tea bags, combination of tea bags, calming tea bags, relaxing teas. Teas that, have good aroma, because there are some smells that when you smell them, it's like, it brings you back to a country feel. Because it's not just the ingestion of the herbs, the smell of it is an allure to your system. And the
Mm.
aromas give a certain image. It presents a certain image in your mind sometimes, and it is different for everybody when they smell certain herbs or when they taste it. So it's not just, we're not just drinking it for the herbal content. Sometimes we just love. So I have some people love bitter sweet, some people love bitter herbs, some people love aroma herbs, and those also help to settle us. If we get things that smells good, that are appealing to us, we will drink them and they will help and settle us. And the kids really feed off that, because one of the ideas that we were focusing on is things that could relax people. In our final year, we looked at the meditating and using Ayurvedic principles. So while you meditate, you also use the herbs as aromas to steam and to relax. So you use a combination. While you're drinking your tea, if you want your teas, you have your tea present, because for some people it's tea, for some people it is wine. But we more focus on the things that are healthy. If you're gonna have a wine, you probably want to have an apple wine, while 'cause those things are much more healthier. So we want to have fruit-based wines if we are going to be taking doing natural things like natural spa, meditation. We tend to want to focus more on the herbs that
Mm.
settles us. While we are doing meditative practice, you need a different type of tea bags to drink for different days, on your hot days and your cold days. So these products are very viable, and I have a few products up my sleeve. As I told Miss, I won't be giving out the ideas.
So let
No,
us see let us see the smile on your face, huh?
yes, I won't be giving out the ideas, but
And it's a
it's some
powerful idea.
areas. It's
Yes.
That's
areas
good.
strictly. You always hear them say they have these things, the strong back for men, and the things for this and the things for that. For the man, uh, I have the same ideas for the woman, and it's not
Don't
just
take too
one,
long.
and it's not just for one area. You know,
Don't take too long. I'm anxious to get it.
So you're going to
so
release that in your upcoming training that you have, right?
so we're not gonna we're gonna have it branded so we can put it out there. So we're
So
doing some research to have it. It's just the right combination of herbs, because for us, it have to be potent for us to use it.
so you're
And we
not
want
gonna
it to be we want
so
it to be
women
effective.
yeah, so women not going to need certain undergarments, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, leave it at that. All right.
Yes.
Peter. I always like to talk to you, about whenever I'm having a conversation with Nicole.
your husband will understand the procedures much better than us. The
Yes.
husbands will tell you and give you the 911 and what's going on when you use the product.
Okay.
And we have one and two ideas for health, and these are I can tell you that one of the idea is simple but potent, using a simple herb that we have in our pantry in combination with something else, and do an amazing job for a specific part of our body.
I
Wow.
think that idea is going to be so powerful. And I
And
know
it's a
God will
spray.
give me. Yes, God will give you the capacity. I've listened to you.
I'm definitely gonna work on it.
Yes, I've listened
Definitely.
to your idea, and I know it's going to be very powerful. And as I always say to you, I say that
Because
you are.
right now there is absolutely nothing on the market for women that is really natural. Yes, that is really natural that works. Nothing
Yes,
I have seen on the market of
for
that
that.
nature.
Yes,
Mm-mm,
yes.
mm-mm.
And it's
They have
coming
been
out this
talked of.
year, right?
There are one and two herbs that people know, but mm,
That sound tell you how powerful it's gonna be,
Don't
right?
it? I'm telling you.
And it's gonna
Wow.
come out this year, right, Miss Nicole?
yes, definitely. I'm gonna push for at least one must come out this year.
And I will be right behind you, as
I know you
always.
will be. I know you will be pushing me to the finish line.
Yes, 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 yes. But I'm excited also because we always talk together and you always have a lot of idea. I must say that you are a very powerful woman, very knowledgeable, and you're an expertise at what you do. And I know that there is a greater door for you. And in this
Amen.
industry is booming a lot and it needs persons who have, knowledge and experience with products. You're not just people who go to study.
Yes.
You are a graduate in your field and you are knowledgeable, but you're also experienced. And so we are so excited to have you, talking about nature's pharmacy using home ingredients for health and wellness. I'm sure that the guests who are on our audience, they would have learned a lot. Please put in the chat if you have learned something tonight, and if you are committing yourselves to use
Mm.
the things, the ingredients in your kitchen, and so it will help us to have um, a better life. So Miss Charmaine, just go ahead.
All right. So I was just thinking now that, say, for example, I'm having a headache and
Mm.
I can't sleep. What can I look for in my cabinet to take before I even reach for a over-the-counter medication?
I wouldn't even ask you to go in your cabinet. I'd
Okay.
ask you to get a bottle of ice water and just sop your head, and that headache will go instantly.
Wow. I know drinking the water itself sometimes allow that to happen. What I was
Right?
thinking,
And you can
over.
also drink the water, but you say you want that terrible headache to go. Let me tell you
Yeah.
that ice water will remove that headache because
Mm.
sometimes it's a release of it may not be a balance something inside, but it may be tension. And what
Mm.
ice water does, when your tension something has to give. When the ice water comes, it acts as a little shocker and it relaxes the nerve endings. For anybody who does not know, your ears, the ears on your head, they are actually not just there, they are actually nerve endings. They are an extension of your nerves on the
Mm.
outside. So that water on the head, it hits the ear follicles and it opens up that constriction. So when the ice water goes there, it just acts as a nerve shock and it opens the pores of the ear follicles. And so
Wow.
that helps to relax your head. And you can drink, you know, a glass of water and that will help. More if you're having a headache that is caused by congestion, you may still need to steam with water. You can also steam with your garlic. You can also steam with your onion. And you can steam with a bit of eucalyptus oil and peppermint. And if you have the peppermint leaves, you can put them in the water and steam with it as well. That would relieve a headache. Hmm.
Okay, okay.
And we a lot of us have castor oil around. The castor oil is also good because it's a deep rooted. It goes deep. It's one of the oils that penetrates deep into our pores, and it also helps. A little of that rub on your temple and rub in areas where you're feeling pain. It relieves pain. It breaks up any little thing that is this present there that is causing tension. And it also helps to relieve.
home remedies because
Yeah. Do
I
you
know
want
that
to repeat your question, Miss Lindsay?
I was just saying that I know it's important for people to understand that there are limitations to home ingredients. So I'm saying, what are some of these? What can we do? When someone definitely need to see a health provider, what can we do? To treat this
Well,
condition.
one of the things that I will tell people is that the home remedies go so far, but then you need somebody who is knowledgeable in the area of alternative medicine to help you. Then you will go and do your own research because these home remedies are not being taken consistent enough in a certain pattern. Now, the herbalist will give you the pattern and the routine to follow. Some of these herbs are night herbs, some of these herbs are day herbs. And this is when we get now deeper into how the approach to take to attack and destroy a particular sickness. And the limitation of the herbs in your home is based on the proportion that you have it in and how consistent you are going to use it. After a while, you are going to stop. But when you're on a regime, you will go to the herbalist who is trained and does this for a living. Now, your home remedies are what you have, but you don't take them. You're not practicing to use them and studying them. But the healthcare professional will know how to balance the pattern in which you take them. As I said, some herbs are day herbs, some herbs are night herbs. For example, the chamomile is a herb that you take in the evening because it gives its calming effect. It's not something that you want to take in the day. It's gonna dull in your mood. It wants to relax you and lay you low, so you would not drink that in the morning. Same thing for St. John's wort. It's a herb that you can take probably in the evening going towards, but you don't want to take those herbs in the morning all the time. Same for the neem. It's a herb that you don't want to take in every proportions unless you're drinking it for a blood purpose because it's also a blood cleanser. Then you would drink it without any sweeteners and drink it in a large proportion like water. So you would peter it out, almost like a watery substance, and drink it. That you can take until you feel like your body has been cleansed. So we have to watch when we take them, and we can't just pick the herbs and take them because you have to study them and know the details about them. Particular structure, what are the mineral content of each herb, because maybe you need a specific mineral, and this herb does not have that high content. You have to research it in order to take it because you may have a B12 deficiency, and in order to get that, you don't just need minerals. You're going to have to eat certain specific foods along with the herb that you're going to take. For the herbs must be taken in combination with natural foods. So you want B12. You want that something that is directly related to your hormones and to your blood. You're gonna have to know what are the foods to eat in combination with a specific herb that is able to assist with B12 regulation.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we must say that this conversation was very empowering, and a topic of this nature really encourage people to really take active role in their health and maintenance using safe natural methods while building confidence in their ability to support their own wellness. And with your experience and knowledge, Mrs. Nicole Dawkins-Buchanan, we were really happy that we selected you to really come to share and empower her to succeed, because we are not just empowering women physically, or mentally or so on. We are empowering every area or aspect
Yes.
that a woman would encounter. And so, to speak of the topic, nature's pharmacy, using home ingredients for health and wellness, I must say that it was very impactful, right? And
Yes.
what would you say about that, Miss Charmaine?
Yes, I myself learn a lot from what you're saying. I see your passion in when you're delivering your information to us. You have a wealth of knowledge that
Yes,
you have harnessed through your research and through your experience. And I really appreciate you coming on to share with us, because
Yeah.
some of this information is really lacking in all of us. We don't really know all of this, and it's valuable information that you're imparting to us right now, and
yes,
I'm
yes,
thankful for it. Yes.
yes. Um, so we really want to thank you because you have really shared some powerful information, and you have shared some simple methods that we can use. I never knew that I could use ice water to stop headaches,
Yes.
Mm.
Glad
right?
to share
I
because
never
it's
knew
just
that.
knowledge.
And that,
We all need that knowledge.
yes, and that is affordable. You don't have to pay for that.
Mm.
Right.
Just a matter of you having that in your refrigerator. So there's something powerful about being able to reach into your own kitchen cabinet when you are not feeling well, rather than always having to run to the store or
Or
wait
the
for an
pharmacy.
appointment. Yes. And with that, we are giving you the opportunity once more, Mrs. Nicole Dawkins-Buchanan, a proven, experienced health and wellness consultant and educator. We are giving you another minute or two just to share with the audience at once again how it is very important to prioritize health and wellness. Why is it important for us to prioritize health and wellness?
Because our health determines our livelihood. And if when you are sick, you only have one problem to get healthy. When you are not sick, you have many problems to focus on. But when you are sick, the number one problem is to get healthy. And it's important that don't wait until you are sick to try to get healthy. We have to try and know that knowledge base is wide, because if we know truth is now coming to the floor, and so we need to know the truth about our food. Our food is highly toxic right now. Even the very vegetable that you and I consume, we have to be very careful what we choose, wash them properly, and all these things, because these things are what we are depending on to keep us healthy, so that we can have a viable livelihood, so that we can take care of our children as women and also men, and so that we can take care of our family. If you are not healthy, you will not be happy.
Mm.
You will be worried, stressed, financially depleted when you have tried all things and you still are at a loss. When the answer lies in our foods, the answer lies in what we are putting to our mouth, what we are choosing to ingest. And if we start all over and change the thinking that I'm going to eat for life, eat for my happiness, eat for my joy, eat for my peace, eat to fight off my anxiety, eat to fight off stress, then we'll have a whole different thinking about our health. Because our health is our greatest, our richest position. It is of much more worth than gold. If weighed on a scale, it would be tipping the scale and pitching off the gold. But when you are healthy, you can move mountains. But when you are weak, you can't even lift a fly. When you are worried and drained and full of anxiety and stress, and need some peace, your mind is all over the place. But once you start to get healthy, you start to have a new vision on life and a new energy and a new zeal. When you are bouncing and you feel young in your body, it gives you a certain revitalization and a push to go on. So it's very important that we pay attention to our health so that we can sustain our liberty, so that we can be vibrant and our energy, we can keep up our energy and spread our energy to others. Because I can tell you from personal experience, I've gone through a lot of traumatic experience through health in my life, and I can tell people that when you are not healthy, you are very unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to smile. It's hard to put up. And sickness makes us true. Sickness makes us true and brings us to honesty because it gives us a clear perspective on what really matters in our lives. When you are unhealthy or when you have family members that are not well, we start to look at the realities and the truths of life more seriously. And so it's important that we take health and wellness no more seriously. What we eat, because we can take care of our own wellness, we can take care of our own health. There are a lot of information is at our fingertips. What I'm telling you is what I read and researched about because of my own um, weaknesses within my body and in my surrounding and my environment. Because sickness is not just a state of the body, it's also a state of environment too. Sometimes we are sick because of our environment.
True.
And sometimes just to remove ourselves from that environment, we'll become healthy. And some of us prove it in our daily lives. Some of us, our work is our most toxic environment, our job. And when we leave the job and we come home, we are wondering if it's the same place. So when we're talking about health and when we're talking about wellness, the health is the physical, the wellness is the spiritual. So we have to pay attention to both because you can be healthy and not well, and you can be well and not healthy. Think about that.
We can be healthy and not well, right? And we can be well and not healthy.
Yep,
Everything
yes,
that you
definitely.
have said a while ago resonates with my own personal self here. And it causes me to, do some form of introspection and
Yes,
reflect on some practices that I have engaged myself in, even as a food specialist. And I must say that having you here tonight is not just for the audience, but I am a part of the audience, even as a host. And I am so empowered to create a change even in my own life and my family life. And we really
yes.
want to thank you. We thank you for
Thanks for
coming
having
on
me,
tonight.
definitely. I
Yes.
truly do appreciate it.
Now we'll have round two, right?
It was a vibrant experience.
Yes. Are there any closing argument from you, Mrs. Lindsay Baugh?
I just want to say that continue to do what you are doing because I believe that it's also a ministry that you are embarking on where you are
Yes,
talking to others to empower them to improve their lives in the way we eat and what we ingest in our bodies and thinking before we put whatever we put in
in
our
our
mouth.
mouth.
Yes. And I have been going through that too before even now where I suffer from diabetes and when I go to the doctor we are at tug and war because my levels are not where they should be
Oh,
and
wow.
I have to be doing purposefully doing or as she says intentionally doing what you have to do so as to alleviate this um, disorder. So what you are saying tonight also resonates with me. You know, where we really have to do better. I mean, we were grown up in a society where we just eat anything. You
Right.
know, we see the fruit anywhere, we see the, you know, but even as an educator, I have to be telling my students, so and so, and you know, do this, do that. But I need to do that for myself too.
Yes,
So,
trust me. You know, as you talk about diabetes, you know, a lot of persons in our country are really struggling with that. And it's because of a lot of misconceptions and ideas that are not thought through. If our country would think about not just pumping insulin in our bodies, but helping us to providing the right avenues for us to get. Because so much of us are dependent on foreign fruits and our own foods they tell us not to eat, especially the mangoes. There's a particular mango that is very good for diabetic patients. That when you eat that mango and they tell you want to eat one, that mango does not run your blood sugar. And mangoes
mm,
are very good for your for diabetics.
you need to tell me that mango here.
It's one of the mangoes that we do. Stringy mango is a very good mango.
Yeah.
The leaves, the leaves and the fruit are good for diabetics.
But I guess they only told us about the fruit because I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah,
learning about the leaves.
stringy. Yeah, the leaves are good to drink.
Wow.
Mango leaves are very potent.
Mm.
Breadfruit leaf is another leaf that is good. The breadfruit is something that you can consume in as a substitute for the other starches.
Yes. I know of
Yes.
that one. Yes.
And
So,
you know, eating your fruits will eventually your fruits do not bring your diabetes into
like a high risk.
confusion.
Okay.
It helps if you would stop eating starches for say a month and juice or take your fruits and eat them and consume them, you will find that your blood sugar will eventually go down.
Yes.
Because what would be happening is that you are now taking in a lot of minerals and vitamins from those foods. And when you eat, you don't dispel the skins of
Mm.
these fruits
That's true.
because the deposits of the minerals lie in the fruit, in the skins, and the vitamins are inside the fruit.
So true.
Gosh.
So a lot of times we strip them off. That mango skin should be blent. That soursop skin should be blent. We pick out seeds and we pick out things, and they are the life of
Of
the
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 fruit.
fruits.
It's true. Give us the fiber. Yes, and all these things.
Gosh. This is so powerful.
So you
Let me
can
talk.
definitely um consume the juices in their raw state for a couple of weeks. Raw juicing of your fruits. Don't mix your fruits and your vegetables. I particularly like a particular fruit and a vegetable, but shouldn't be mixed. But the combination of it is very nice and very soothing, especially for us as women. In Ayurvedic medicine, they don't mix the fruits and the vegetables for juice. If it's vegetable, it's vegetable, and if it's fruits, it's fruits, which is understandable because they are power packed by themselves. And
Mm.
to mix something sometimes bring confusion, and the body does not read well confusion.
Mm.
So that's why, because in Ayurveda, the Chinese deal with yin and yang, and the Ayurveda deal with the same yin and yang is called balance. And the Ayurveda, which is the Indian principle, believes that you should drink things as all they are. So you don't mix a particular thing to get a combination. You can have them both at particular times.
Yes.
So if you feel for carrot juice, you can drink it, but you shouldn't mix the carrot and the melon. You can
Mm.
drink a cup of carrot juice if you so desire, or you can take a cup of melon juice if you so desire, so that the body, because the body is like a scanner, and you drink the melon juice, and it begins to scan. Oh, this has mineral, this has this vitamin, and the body is better able to read it easily. Well, you want things to be easy on the body. You want to
Yes.
give the body an opportunity to pick out the nutrients. So that's one of the ideas behind you not mixing too much combination of fruits.
Right.
It doesn't go well for the body reading it. Yes, there's a time and a place for it sometimes, but you have to know what you're doing and the combinations of what. Yes, if you're gonna do fruits with certain things, you have to know the combination and how to mix them, and not to mix them with any non-natural thing to rob it of its nutrient factor.
Yes.
Wow. And I know with a topic like this, we could stay 5 more hours.
I know.
Yes, it is so interesting, but we just have to conclude now. We want to thank everyone who tuned in for this impactful session on YouTube and Facebook. We want to thank our guest, Nicole Dawkins-Buchanan, who shared pertinent information, powerful, transformative ones, to let us know that we have a natural pharmacy and we can actually use home ingredients to have a better health and a wellness lifestyle. We want to thank you all for joining tonight. We thank our co-host, Mrs. Charmaine Lindsay Baugh. I also want to thank all our audience for joining in and
Yes.
sticking with us tonight. I know that in the chat they're saying, thank you for sharing. I love mangoes. We'll try these methods. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot. And of course, you will hear more of all the events that Mrs. Dawkins will be hosting because she will be having, some training and workshop surrounding health and wellness, of which you can be a part of. And to let you know that we'll be having our conference in October, and she will be one of our speaker. So you can join us here in Jamaica, and through the leading and direction of the Lord, I know the Lord will lead us into Cayman, as Mrs. Baugh is currently in Cayman. Yes,
Yes.
we talk about empowering her to succeed. It's not just for
Yes.
Jamaica, right? But we have
Yes. Definitely.
tuning in from Jamaica, from Canada, from US, from Africa, and we
Mm.
have Miss Lindsay Baugh, Mrs. Lindsay Baugh, who is representing the Cayman portion. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you
Virtual.
so much.
Yes,
Yes.
there is really power, with technology that we all can be virtual and we can connect from different areas, within the world, different places within the world, and we can share to help empower each other. We want to thank you for joining again, and we ask of you to join again next week for a very exciting topic. Please remember to invite your friends and loved ones. Just to let you know that Empower Her to Succeed is not just a talk show, but is really a movement, a ministry that is helping women to succeed. It's helping women. We'll be providing scholarships for women who, dropped out of school, women who really never had the opportunity. We'll be providing help wherever, counseling, all of those. We'll be finding the support that women will get so that they can succeed. We just want to thank you for tuning in, and we will move on to our theme song. And I just want to say to you, until next week, have a great evening.
She's rising up, heart full of grace. With every step, she's paving the way. Through every storm, she finds a light. With faith in her soul, she's ready to fight. From the pain, she finds a power, turning trials into golden hours. Challenges don't stand a chance. She's on a mission, potential the world needs. With love, with faith, with every breath she takes, a transformative story is what we make. If this is her life, this is her creed. Empower her to succeed. She's a doer too, breaking ceilings, breaking through. With every voice that lifts her name, together we rise, we shift again. She's more than enough, she's made to rise above. When the world says no, she answers with love. Every breath she takes, a transformative story is what we make. But this is her life, this is her creed. Empower her to succeed. With Kereisia and Shane, yeah, hear her rise. This is where challenges meet purpose and dreams touch the skies. Empower her to succeed. Empower her to succeed. Fuel the fire, plant the seed. Let her overcome, let her lead. She's the potential the world needs. With love, with faith, with every breath she takes, a transform stories what we made, and this is her life.